Now, speaking of selfie cameras, Xiaomi apparently working very hard to eliminate the selfie camera completely. We've talked about this in the past. This has been reported, but it's back in the news because of a response that a Xiaomi official had on social media about how hard they're actually working on it. So obviously, in the meantime, brands are aiming to shrink the front-facing camera in order to make the obstruction as minimal as possible. But the ultimate eventual place you want to get is to not having the obstruction at all. And so we started to see rumors and we started to see images emerge regarding this technology that would be capable of putting the camera underneath. We even saw video in some cases in the past of how this technology would work by turning off the display in the section where the front-facing camera is housed temporarily, and then those pixels could come back on when the camera's not in use. But we have not seen a commercial product yet actually emerge with this technology in place, the under-display camera. So the question is, who's going to be first to market? And you know, Will, it's a rampage. They got to get there. Whoever gets there gets to sell some more devices in an incredibly competitive marketplace that we've talked about in the past. And so you know Xiaomi wants to get there before Oppo. Oppo wants to get there before Huawei. Samsung wants to get there before Xiaomi. You see how this goes, Will? Mm-hmm. So there was a question that took place on Weibo, popular social media platform in China, in which Xiaomi Group Vice President and Redmi brand General Manager Lu Weibing, he was very active for the moment, and one of his followers asked, which technology do you most expect to adopt on future smartphones? That was the question, and the response was, where is it exactly? He said, Xiaomi is working hard to overcome the screen camera technology specifically. So, yes, you're left to speculate what that means, but presumably we are closer to this technology being commercially available than may have been originally thought. And I think it is kind of a big deal. Even though I realize the notch as we have it today, at the scale that it is, isn't really that distracting. It's not really that terrible, right? I'm talking particularly in the water drop, teardrop style that you're showcasing there, or even the tiny little hole punch we just showed off on Samsung's S11 render. But I think almost everyone agrees, if you can put it under the display and the quality is equivalent, that's the better implementation. Full screen, full access, full video, no black dot sitting there, no notch. That seems to me to be the superior implementation. And therefore, if you can be first to market on a technology or an advancement, which everyone agrees is the better implementation, well, that's going to be good for business.
Yes. And doesn't suffer from worse selfies.
That's the key. It has to still have performance to it.
Yes.
But you would assume that they wouldn't be worth doing if you couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
At least maintain it.
If the pixels turn off, why not? Mm-hmm. If the pixels in that region turn off, why not? So anyway, we might be seeing this sooner than originally expected, and at least we know the race is on now. If you have Xiaomi Group Vice President coming out publicly saying that, Oppo Group Vice President is reading that. Mm-hmm. So the race is on. And we're just gonna add some fuel to the fire right now and just say, go ahead and do it already.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got. I mean, it's hard to do. We're not doing it.
It's a free-for-all.
But it's cool. And it definitely beats the motorized camera as well because of the moving parts and all that. Mm-hmm. This is the ultimate eventual implementation and at least in the immediate future.